Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-anjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto-4, Chapter 6, Brahmā Satisfies Lord Śiva. So we are in the first section of this chapter, where we see that Brahmaji being approached by the devatas, he is now conveying them that you should take shelter of Lord Shiva, who is very severely offended by Durukti of Dakṣa and also severely in distress because of death of Sati, separation from Sati. But still he is Ashutosh and he will very easily forgive you and he will be very easily pleased. So we come to text 7. Ashasanajeevitamadvarasya lokasapala kupitena yasmin. No, this is over. No, this is 6th.
This is 6,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, 7th. 7th will go. Naham na yagyo na chayuyamanne ye deha bhajo munayascha tattvam vidu pramanam balaviryayorva yasyatma tantrasya kupayam vidisyet. Translation?
Lord Brahma said that no one, not even himself, Indra, all the members assembled in the sacrificial arena, or all the sages, could know how powerful Lord Shiva is. Under the circumstances, who would dare to commit an offense at his lotus feet? Purport. After Lord Brahma advised the demigods to go to Lord Shiva and beg his pardon, it was suggested how he should be satisfied and how the matter should be placed before him. Brahma also asserted that none of the conditioned souls, including himself and all the demigods, could know how to satisfy Lord Shiva. But he said, it is known that he is very easily satisfied. So let us try to satisfy him by falling at his lotus feet. Actually, the position of the subordinate is always to surrender to the Supreme. That is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord asks everyone to give up all kinds of concocted occupations and simply surrender unto Him. That will protect the conditioned souls from all sinful reactions. Similarly, in this case, Brahma also suggested that they go and surrender unto the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. For since he is very kind and easily satisfied, this action would prove effective. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So Brahmaji here says, Naham, neither me, na yagyo. Now yagya here is Indra. Okay. This is a very specific name to Indra. Used in this particular, he's a local yagya. So there is something called the local maxima, local minima, global maxima, global minima. So he's the local personality. So yagya in this case refers to Indra. So he says, neither me here is a big personality, Brahma himself, neither Indra, then what to speak of all other demigods, could even know the power of Lord Shiva, let alone how to satisfy him. But still, let us approach at his lotus feet, surrender to him, and then he will be pleased because we know him to be Ashutosha. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that it is very difficult to know the great personalities and what will please them. Right. So, and what to speak of Lord Shiva, who is one of the greatest personality. It's very difficult to know what will please him. But one thing is sure that he is very easily pleased. He is Ashutosh. And therefore, Lord Brahma says, my dear demigods, let us approach Lord Shiva and satisfy him by falling at his lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada further quotes Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that give up all kinds of concoction and just surrender unto me. Right. And that will please me. And therefore, one way to please a great personality to ask him, what pleases you, sir? Right. And then one can follow the instructions, please them, but one should never shy away from going in front of the people. This is very important thing. Right. Sometimes, we are unable to perform some spiritual activity and we shy away going in front of our Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, so on and so forth. So that should not happen. One should be literally, strong word to use is one should be literally shameless to be in the association of the devotees, be in the environment of the temple to uplift oneself. Text 8. Saityamādishya suran ajastu vai tutai samanvita pitrubhi saprajeshai yayau swadikshnyat nilayam puradvishah Kailāsamadripravaram priyam prabho. Translation.
Translation. After thus instructing all the demigods, the Pitas and the lords of the living entities, Lord Brahma took them with him and left for the abode of Lord Shiva, known as the Kailāsa Hill. Purport. The abode of Lord Shiva, which is known as Kailāsa, is described in the 14 verses which follow. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Now, instructing like this, Lord Brahma did not say, go and surrender to Lord Shiva. Lord Brahma picked all of them because they were hesitant to go in front of Lord Shiva. They were hesitant. They were uncertain of the reaction of Lord Shiva. That Lord Shiva may curse everybody and destroy everybody because he is so severely offended in severe distress. And therefore, Lord Brahma personally took everybody and they departed to Kailash. And now the next 14 verses, that is the section 2 of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam of this chapter, text 9 to 22, we will see description of abode of Kailash. Right. So we are so fortunate. So now we will be seeing Kailas Dham being mentioned in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Text 9. Janmaushadhi tapah mantra yoga siddhai naraitaraihi Jushtvam Kinnara Gandharvai Apsarobhivritam Sada. Translation.
The abode known as Kailas is full of different herbs and vegetables, and it is sanctified by Vedic hymns and mystic yoga practice. Thus, the residents of that abode are demigods by birth and have all mystic powers. Besides them, there are other human beings who are known as Kinnaras and Gandharvas and are accompanied by their beautiful wives who are known as Apsaras or angels.
So who resides at Kailash? Right. So these are the great personalities who reside at Kailash. Kailash mountain, Kailash Dham, which is full of different herbs and vegetables. Janmaushadhi, Tapah, Mantra. And these are the personalities who are perfected in the yogic practice. By birth, they are the demigods there, full of all mystic powers. And thus there are, the higher human beings, such as Kinnaras, Gandharvas, accompanied by their wives, who are Apsaras or angels. Okay, so one thing is, universe is not vacant. The modern scientific understanding that, apart from earth, everything is vacant, is not supported anywhere in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam or Bhagavad Gita. In fact, the very second chapter of Bhagavad Gita describes soul as Sarvagataha. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, Sarvagataha means present everywhere. Even in the fire, the sun is even in the sun planet, the soul is present. Okay. The mistake of modern science is they try to find the same O2, N2 combination for the life to exist there, forgetting that even within the earthly planet, life exists on a different platform. Like the condition for the humans is completely different than the fish, which is aquatic, completely inside the water. So because we project the earthly environment outside, we think that everything is empty except us. But that is not the case. Everything is filled. We are very small and tiny, and therefore we are unaware of how to access these personalities. Text 10. Nana mani mani shringai, nana dhatu vichitra chaitraihi, nana drumalata gulmai, nana mrugaganavrtaihi. Translation.
Kailāsa is full of mountains filled with all kinds of valuable jewels and minerals and surrounded by all varieties of valuable trees and plants. The top of the hill is nicely decorated by various types of deer.
So this mountain is filled with valuable jewels, minerals, trees, and plants. And the top of the hill is nicely decorated with Nana Mriga, different types of deers. Right. So this is the entry towards Kailas. Text 11. Nana Mala Prastravanaihi, Nana Gandharvasanubhihi, Ramanam Viharantinam, Ramanaihi Siddhayoshitam. Translation.
Translation: There are many waterfalls, and in the mountains there are many beautiful caves in which the very beautiful wives of the mystics are found. Hare Krishna.
So there are valuable jewels, minerals, trees, plants, birds are chirping around. There are the deers everywhere. Many waterfalls, beautiful caves, and the beautiful wives of the mystics are found enjoying this atmosphere. And the word here is Ramanai Siddha Yoshitam. Siddha is the perfected beings. Siddha Yoshitam means the damsels of the mystics, right? So they are being found there. Text 12. Mayurakeka bhirutam mandandha alivimurchitam plavitaihi raktakanthanam kujitaischa patatrinam. Translation.
On Kailāsa Hill, there is always the rhythmical sound of the peacock's sweet vibrations and the bees humming. Cuckoos are always singing, and other birds whisper among themselves.
So this is the further description of Kailas, that there is a rhythmical sound of the peacock's sweet vibrations, right? This is called as Kekavali. Mayura Keka. Okay, so Keka means, Mayura Keka means, this is how the Mayura, the peacocks, they are sweet vibration from the peacocks. Recently, I was in IIT Delhi, courtesy our Lakshman Nitai Prabhu. So there in IIT Delhi also we could find, the Mayura everywhere. Okay, a lot of peacocks are there in IIT Delhi campus also. Recently in Govardhan also we could find many Mayura there. In fact, Govardhan is filled with such an atmosphere. Kujata kokila hamsa sarasagana kirne mayura kule. This is the description of. So here further there are bees humming and there are cuckoos always singing and other birds amongst themselves. Rakta Kanthanam. Rakta Kanthanam here is Rakta Kanthanam here as the kokil bird which is always singing. So this is the description of Kailas continues. Text 13. Ahayantam ivos uthastaihi dvijan kamadudai drumaihi vrajantam iva matangaihi granantam iva nirzaraihi. Translation.
There are tall trees with straight branches that appear to call the sweet birds. And when herds of elephants pass through the hills, it appears that the Kailāsa Hill moves with them. When the waterfalls resound, it appears that Kailāsa Hill does also. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So there are tall trees with straight branches calling for birds, inviting the birds, oh, come, sit on us. And then there are herds of the elephants pass through the hills. And it appears that by the weight of these elephants and their movements, it appears that entire Kailas is reverberating. Later we'll see in the story of Gajendra. When Gajendra was walking, it is described that Gajendra was such a dinosaur like a kind of an elephant, huge elephant. That entire hill was reverberating by the steps of this Gajendra. So it appears that Kailasa Hill also moves with them. And then there are waterfalls, they resound. And this is how Kailasa is very beautifully decorated. Text 14-15. Now there are different types of trees are being mentioned here. So what we have seen here is the personalities in Kailash that we have seen, the birds in Kailash, the animals in Kailash mountain, and now we are seeing different trees, right? Mandara parijatascha saralaischa upashobhitam tamalai shalatalaischa kovidarasana Chutaihi kadambaini paischa nagaputraga champakaihi patala shokabakulai kundai kurabakaischapi. Translation?
The whole of Kailas Hill is decorated with various kinds of trees, of which the following names may be mentioned: Mandara, Parijata, Saral, Tamal, Tal, Kavidar, Asana, Arjun, Amrachati, Mango, Kadamba, Dhuli Kadamba, Naga, Punnaga, Champaka, Patal, Ashoka, Bakula, Kunda, and Kurabaka. The entire hill is decorated with such trees which produce flowers with fragrant aromas.
So these are the different fruit bearing trees, and these are the flower bearing trees. So these are basically the trees with different kinds of flowers that are being mentioned here. Even the next verse is all about this. Text 16. Swarnarna shatapatraischa vararenuk jatibhihi Kujvakaihi mallikabhischa madhavibhischa manditam. Translation?
There are other
Translation.
or-
Yes, Nataji, go ahead.
there are other trees which also which decorate the hill, such as the golden lotus flower, the cinnamon tree, Malati, Kubja, Mallika, and Madhavi.
Yes. So these are, so text 14, 15, 16, they are describing the trees, especially they are the flower bearing trees. Right. Now we will see 17, 18, these are the trees which are fruit bearing trees. Right. So these are the different types of the trees. Malati, Kubja, Mallika, Madhavi. So these are the different types of the trees available. Text 17. Panasa udambarashvatha plakshak nyagrodahingibhihi vrujairoshadhivis pugaihi rajapugaischa jambubihi. Translation?
Translation. Kailāsa Hill is also decorated with such trees as Kata, jackfruit, Julara, banyan trees, Plakasas, Nyagrodhas, and the trees producing asafoetida. Also, there are trees of betel nuts and Bhurjra Patra, as well as Rajapuga, blackberries, and similar other trees. Hare Krishna.
Text 18. Kharjura amrat kamradyai priyala maduka induvai dramajatibhi annaischa rajitam venukichakai. Translation?
There are mango trees, Priyala, Madhuka, and Inguda. Besides these, there are other trees like thin bamboos, kachaka, and varieties of other bamboo trees, all decorating the tract of Kailāsa Hill.
So these 17, 18 were the trees which are especially the fruit bearing trees. So there are flower bearing trees and there are fruit bearing trees. Now text 19, 20. We'll see different types of flowers and the lakes around that we are going to see in this particular verse. Kumuda utpala kallara shatapatra vanaruddhibi nalisheshu kalam kujat khagavrinda upashobhitam mrugai shakhamrukai क्रोडैः मृग इन्द्रैरुक्षशल्लकैः गवयै शरभै व्याघ्रैः रुरुभिः महशादिभिः. Translation.
There are different kinds of lotus flowers, such as Kumuda, Utpala, and Shatapatra. The forest appears to be a decorated garden, and the small lakes are full of various kinds of birds who whisper very sweetly. There are many kinds of other animals also, like deer, monkeys, boars, lions, rakshas, shallakas, forest cows, forest asses, tiger, small deer, buffalo, and many other animals who are fully enjoying their lives. Hare Krishna.
So there are different kinds of flowers like Kumuda, Utpala, Shatapatra, and the lakes are filled with different kinds of birds who whisper very sweetly. There are various animals like deer, monkeys, boars, lions, rakshas, forest cows, forest bears, tigers, buffaloes, and many different types of animals. Those can be found on the Kailash mountain. Now, we have seen only typical type of the deer. Now here we can see large variety of deers, and that is also being mentioned in X21. Karanartra ekapadashva ashvasyaiः निर्जुष्टं वृकनाभिः कदलीखण्ड समृद्ध नलिनी पुलिनश्रियम्. Translation.
There are varieties of deer such as Karnantra, Ekapada, Ashwasya, Vrika, and Kasturi, the deer which bears musk. Besides the deer, there are many banana trees which decorate the small hillside lakes very nicely.
Yeah. So for the sample, one of the animal like Mruga, Nana Mrugai, is being mentioned here. And similarly, there are all other different animals and their great variety. Here, there is a variety of deers are being mentioned here. So one is Karnantra, Ekapad, then Ashwasya, Vruka, and Kasturi is being mentioned. So Kasturi Mruga is something known to us, Kasturi Mruga. But there are large variety of deers, and similarly there are large variety of Vyagra, large variety of the boars, lions, monkeys, and all different animals in different great varieties. They are found on the Kailāsa Hill. And this Kailāsa Hill, there are different types of trees also, which are like varieties of banana trees are also being mentioned here. Text 22. Now we will see the surrounding of the Kailāsa Hill, that how it is being surrounded. Paryantam Nandaya Satya Snana Punyotarodayah Vilokya Bhuta Ishagiram Vibudha Vismayam Yayuhu. Translation.
There is a small lake named Alkananda in which Sati used to take her bath, and that lake is especially auspicious. All the demigods, after seeing the specific beauty of Kailāsa Hill, were struck with wonder at the great opulence to be found there. Purport. According to the commentary called Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Chandrika, the water in which Sati used to bathe was Ganges water. In other words, the Ganges flowed through the Kailas Parvat. There is every possibility of accepting such a statement because Ganges water also flows from the hair of Lord Shiva. Since Ganges water rests on the head of Lord Shiva and then flows to the other parts of the universe, it is quite possible that the water in which Sati bathed, which was certainly very nicely scented, was Ganges water.
Yeah. Paryantam Nandaya Satya Snana Punyo Torodaya. Now there is a small lake named Alakananda where Sati used to take her bath. Right. Now this Sati only, she gave up her life, self-immolated herself against the protest to Dakṣa for offending Lord Shiva. And now here there is a mention of Sati Devi who is to take a bath in this Alakananda lake. And all the demigods, when they saw this kind of specific beauty of the Kailāsa Hill, they were struck with wonder at the great opulence of Kailash. So Dakṣa foolishly was accusing Lord Shiva to be something like a beggar. You are just moving in smashanas, and all your associates are like the bhutas and pretas. But here is the glory of Lord Shiva, that all the great demigods, including Indra, they were struck with wonder when they saw this extreme opulence at Kailas. Right? It takes a lot to, wonder, make demigods wonder about the opulence. Like sometimes, we may go to some rich man's house and we may see his mansion, his cars. I was just telling one example. In Surat, some of our devotees, they approached one man and they wanted to do some shooting. And they said that, can you make your parking available? He said, yes, Prabhuji, please take the parking. And he said, which is your parking? He said, no, this entire building belongs to me and all 47 parkings are my parkings only. You use any parking that you want. And they were struck. They never thought somebody could be this rich. That, he has 47 parkings. And, then they asked him that we need some car also. We want to shoot some video on the car or something like that. He said, yeah, which one you want? And none of the car was less than Audi. Right. So when we go to some rich man's house, we may be struck with wonder about the opulence of that rich man. Now, what to speak of the opulence of the demigods? And all these demigods were wonderstruck when they saw the opulence of Kailas. Right. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, he refers the commentary called as Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Canto-4. Right. And the Alakananda water is basically Ganga water. And how come Ganga water? Because Ganga, when she flows through the jata of Lord Shiva, through the hairs of Lord Shiva. Because when Bhagirath, later we'll come to this pastime, when Bhagirath pleased and Ganga said, yes, I will come down to do uddhar of your, the ancestors, but who will hold my flow? And then Bhagirath performed austerity to please Lord Shiva. And then, Ganga was first accepted by Lord Shiva. And then on his head, because Lord Shiva is a Vaishnava, Ganga is Charanamrit coming from the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. Lord Shiva was very happy to accept Ganga on his head. And Prabhupada writes here, the same Ganga water rests on the head of Lord Shiva and then flows to the different parts of the universe. It is quite possible that the water in which Sati bathed is certainly nicely scented, and that is Alakananda, and that is filled with Ganga water. So this is how the demigods, they approached Kailash. So what a beautiful, beauty of Kailash is being mentioned in these 14 verses. So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.